What's up, everybody, and welcome to Florida. The madness has begun. Last minute preparations. People are going to the Wendy's to get their last minute fix. If you've been through a hurricane, you know what this is about. As with any hurricane, the biggest issue people have is finding fuel. 7-Eleven finally has gas here in Lakewood Ranch, but they only have regular gas and diesel. So the people with luxury cars are going to have to keep spinning. I don't know why they're stopping. They're all stopping here. But you can go, you're good. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. There's plenty of gas pumps available, but for some reason people keep stalling out right here for some reason. I don't get it. There are pumps available. There's gas available here, diesel and regular, but for some reason people just like to stop their vehicles right there for no reason. Let me help this lady find a spot. She's just struggling. A lot of people don't normally drive as much or driving and stuff, so it's a little, oh look, they're oh, they almost crashed. What a mess. It's almost like a human created madness. It's like it's not as chaotic as it actually is. It's just people are just panicking and struggling and having a hard time stacking up again. Oh yeah, that thing's squatted. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Look at that squat, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Sadly, for the people with the luxury vehicles, they're going to have to find alternative places. And I guess electric vehicles have a little bit of a problem as well right now. It's Highway 70, Lakewood Ranch. Almost nobody on the roads now. Not gonna lie, that's the cleanest setup I have seen on a Chevy in a while. That thing is clean. I don't care who you are, that thing is clean. All right, so one of the biggest questions that I've had on my channel has been, Jose, are you going to evacuate? Look, people, I moved to Lakewood Ranch for a reason. I moved here after Hurricane Ian destroyed Fort Myers with a 15-foot storm surge. And I calculated very carefully where I was going to move to and why. So like I said, I decided after Hurricane Ian that we were going to move to Lakewood Ranch. The reason we're moving over here is because our elevation is 32 feet. Now, in Fort Myers, our elevation wasn't that bad because we're in Lehigh Acres, far inland. Now, the problem with Lehigh Acres is that it took 26 minutes to get to a gas station. Where I live right now, in Lakewood Ranch, I have gas stations that are plentiful. I have supermarkets that are plentiful. The highways here are state roads that are 3 lanes each way. Basically, Lakewood Ranch is the best place to spend this hurricane in the entire Tampa metropolitan area. We have an elevation of 33 feet where we're at, which is not to be taken lightly. That's a lot of elevation for Florida. This isn't my first hurricane. I'm reading comments from people who have never been through a hurricane saying that I've never been through a hurricane. So I've been through Wilma, Charley, Ian, Irma, and a few others. It's not my first hurricane. Customers! Oh no, 45 minutes. We're all gonna die in 45 minutes. No, not 45 minutes. We'll be closing in 45 minutes. In 45 minutes. You need to get your crap going, people. You got 45 minutes to get everything you need before you die. You got 45 minutes, people. So it will become madness. It was kind of show until they made that announcement. 45 minutes. Imagine all these people got to leave the store in 45 minutes, people. Let's see what the store looks like. Do they have stuff? Are people dying at the Walmart? Are they trampling each other? Let's find out what the situation is in the Lakewood Ranch Walmart. So no, we knew this was coming. We calculated after Hurricane Ian. I told my wife never again. And I actually understand the logistics of going through a hurricane. For one of the toughest things about going through a hurricane, guys, they're gonna close this Walmart. And look how much bread, is left here. They're gonna be closing in 45 minutes, and there's no way these customers are gonna take all this bread. So there's more bread here available than people could possibly eat. And that's good, because I've been through hurricanes where you go to the store and there's nothing left. Look at how much bread is left here. And look at the prices of this bread. $1. Look, $1 for a bread. So I would say that Walmart is doing a good job of, again, their store closes in 45 minutes, and there's Cuban bread, there's Puerto Rican bread. Look, they got Cuban bread for $1. Actually, it'd be a great idea just to pick up some of these breads and just take them to the people that are on the streets because it wouldn't cost me anything. They're $1 a piece. I mean, I'll wait till closer to closing time. But again, it's there's an abundance of bakery goods here, and that's good. And the prices are really lower than usual. So with the last hurricane, some brands have known if you price gouge people, or if you don't look out for your community, you create a situation where in the future those people are going to resent you forever. I think brands understand that. But look, there's plenty of chicken here, and let's see what the price is on the chicken. $2.60. So everything's actually cheaper than normal. Some things are thinning out, but then again, everybody's buying stuff. But if you notice, at least the breads, the bakery goods, there's plenty of it. If you look here in the meats department, you can see there's a lot of meat, but you also want to have this stuff so when things open back up again, I wonder if I can find an employee and be like, hey, like your breads and stuff, are you guys going to take it somewhere to people that need it? I'm not sure. But already by those low prices, it helps a lot of people. Now, water is one of those things that is more scarce and more difficult. There isn't any water, for example, but there are grocery goods like breads. No water's left in Walmart. No water. It's over for the water. And sodas are thin as well. So not only is the water barely any water left, but sodas are very thin as well. But we are good on waters. We had another hurricane from our last hurricane. We didn't use all the waters we had, so we're good on that. You can see some shelves are empty as well with like drinks, but there's still plenty of drinks and juices. So Gatorades, Powerades, a lot of the people that are working in the aftermath are buying like Gatorades, so all that's completely depleted. But overall, I can say that this Walmart is well stocked. You know, the Publix ran a little thin. The small grocery stores in town probably ran the best program because they're smaller places, easier to manage, so they're able to stay on top of everything. So no, like I said, when we moved to Lakewood Ranch, we moved to Lakewood Ranch specifically for this scenario. You know, me and my wife looked at a map and said, okay, I want to live a block away from a Publix, a block away from 3 gas stations. I want to have within a mile radius 4 grocery stores. There it is. They arrived. Yay. They arrived. The water has arrived. The life-saving water. And they close in 45 minutes and they're already still pushing stuff out. So a whole pallet of water for the thirsty people of Lakewood Ranch. Let's see how fast they devour this water. Water has arrived. We will not drown. We have water. There he goes. Let's see how fast they devour. The waterman has arrived. The most important man in town has arrived. The waterman. He's got a ton of water and the people are lining up. And the waterman has arrived, and instantaneously the hungry, thirsty people of Lakewood Ranch attack, and they're fighting over it. He's got one. He's going to go for a second, and they're all fighting, getting their hands on this precious water. He's the winner. He's the first one this lady's got. She's going to carry it all the way to her car.
Water,
she's got water. Get your water. We're going to have plenty of water in the next 48 hours as well. And everybody's coming for their water. How long will a box of water last in Lakewood Ranch? We got people approaching from every angle, and they're grabbing water by the ton. People of Lakewood Ranch have discovered water, the most important thing during a hurricane. Hoarding water. People are grabbing water by the ton. There are pallets of water showing up mysteriously in Lakewood Ranch. Well, guys, like I said earlier, you know, when I moved to Lakewood Ranch, we knew exactly what we wanted. We wanted a place that had everything accessible. We were absolutely tired of living in Lakewood, Lehigh Acres, where, you know, a gas station was 26 minutes away. You could drive to the gas station. When you got there was no water. So, like, I knew exactly what I wanted. So, no, Lakewood Ranch is the perfect place to pass this storm. I'm not going to evacuate. I'm not in an evacuation zone. If I was in an evacuation zone, I would get out of there. I'm not even in an evacuation zone. We're just in the last area. We're far inland, so we don't have to worry about storm surge. We're at an elevation, so we don't have to worry about storm surge. We are in a brand new building, so we don't have to worry about wind destruction because our building is built to the hurricane code. So all that means that we simply do not have to worry as much as somebody closer. On top of that, this is not my first rodeo. I've been through Charley, Wilma, Ian. I've lost track of all the ones we've been through. Debbie, when I lived in Alabama, went through Sally. Sally somehow made it to Montgomery. So it's not my first rodeo. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to stay in my house. My community needs me here more than on the road. Leaving comes with, look, surfboards. The most essential thing, a pallet of surfboards has arrived. Is that bodyboards? Yeah, a pallet of, and I have 2 pallets of Bollywood. In the camping area, there are barely any coolers left. Recently, we bought a cooler, so we're good. It's not that big. It's not enough for all our goods, but it's something. Attention, Walmart customers. There are very few. This is the one we got right here. It's $30. We got one at home. It's not going to save our groceries. I'm pretty sure we're going to lose a crap load of groceries. Check this out. You're probably wondering why people are buying garbage cans. The reason people are buying garbage cans is because you can fill it up with water, put it in your bathtub, and you'll have water to flush the toilet. So if you're wondering why there's people buying garbage cans, well, there you go. So yes, we are going to stay for the hurricane. We have thought this out 100 times over. We talked about it. And I told Kate after Hurricane Ian, I was like, we've got to move somewhere where, you know, we don't have to worry about the storm surge. We don't have to worry about not, you know, just being in a food desert where there's nothing. Like we're in Lehigh. We fixed all that. We're in Lakewood Ranch. I mean, we're off of state highways. We're off of interstates. Everything you need is here. This is the perfect place to be for a hurricane. And I'm not scared. I was for the first few days. It's starting to wear off. It's not my first rodeo. 2 p.m. We ask you that you make your final selections and get your butt out of the store because we want to go home. You know, I even had people that were laughing at me saying that I couldn't afford to evacuate. There's a lot of people that can afford to evacuate for hurricanes. Not everybody is able to evacuate. There's people who simply cannot afford it. There are people who simply don't have the money. They can't do it. People live paycheck to paycheck. And a hurricane, you know, like in this hurricane, we decided to stay. We knew that was our plan. So was that the plan for the last hurricane? So we're well stocked up. We probably have $300 or $400 in supplies of full gas tank. There's $500 right there. A lot of people don't have $1,000 laying around simply ready to go. It's not realistic. So a lot, they'll be closing at 2 o'clock. You guys gotta run. Attention, Walmart customers, we will be closing like right away. You need to leave. Not everybody's able to afford to leave. People can't, you know. And then not only that, like hotels right now are $300 and up in Florida. I don't know if you guys know that. Hotels are the only people that are allowed to price gouge people. Everybody else, as you see, Walmart, their breads are $1. They're probably used like $3 normally. Everybody else has to lower their prices, but the hotels are price gouging people. The Speedway gas station here is already closed. And pretty soon, if you haven't made your preparations, it will be too late. The first few days of evacuations, the interstate is a madhouse, but now the interstate is clear. So if you want to evacuate now, it's a lot easier. Now the 7-Eleven is out of gas, okay? But it's open. 7-Eleven is open. These are Florida's last minute preparations for this hurricane. I got a feeling this person right here is not really homeless. I've been doing this for too long, and I know this dude right here is not homeless. I think this person's a faker. What do you guys think? I don't think this dude's really homeless. All right, guys, so we have a line here at the Lowe's. These are all people trying to buy plywood and wood supplies to board up for the hurricane. They've taped off the entrance here, and this is done so that people are able to get their plywood. Dang, look at the old school Chevy, man. 4x4 and everything. All right, so we got generators. It's very important on hurricanes is generators. You can see a lot of people are getting generators as well. Let's go inside and see if we can find the things that I actually need. I actually do need a few things myself. But I don't think I'm going to find them. I'm not allowed to have a generator in my apartment building. So that's the other thing where I live now is there's a lot of rules. Among those rules is no generators. They do have a lot of paper towels here, but there's also a limit. People tend to hoard stuff like this. Of course, after a hurricane, stuff like garbage bags, giant tarps are all going to be in high demand. So a lot of the stuff, against mold, for example, a lot of the stuff, buckets, stuff like that, barbecue grills, all these things are going to be in high demand after the hurricane. So they're already bringing in charcoal and other things that people are going to need after the hurricane. What I need are these totes right here for my truck. Because I have stuff that if I'm going to evacuate, I'm going to want to keep my food kind of dry. And like I said before, it's not my first rodeo. When I say evacuate, I mean after the storm passes, you have 3, 6, 9 days without power. That's when I leave. I don't leave before the storm. I leave after the storm. The hardest part isn't going through the storm. It's the aftermath. After the storm passes, you're without power for 9 days. That's when you really want to leave. All right, buddy. So I got the totes that I needed. One of the most common things being sold here are generators. Now, what's interesting is generators is something you don't need until after you run out of power. And they don't seem to last. Generators are one of those things like if you buy a generator this year for this hurricane and you a year later try to use it again, for some reason they don't start, they don't work. They're very short-term items. You think a generator is something that would work like year after year, but they don't. Interesting though, that line for boarding up windows is growing. A lot of times people leave things for last minute as far as like preparing their property. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think this guy is genuinely homeless? He's bent over like there's something wrong with him. Is this guy really genuinely homeless, or do you guys think this guy is a faker? Now I've never seen this. Let me see if I've seen this dude real quick. You think this guy is really homeless, or you think he's faking it? I think this guy might be faking it. What do you guys think? Anybody who actually live in this area know? Because sure would be a shame for somebody to be out here faking it. This car here, they got a bunch of plywood inside their SUV. Look at all that plywood inside the SUV. That's a big SUV right there, buddy. Now the interstate is practically empty. Yeah, you can see the interstate has slowed down to almost nobody. Well, like I said, this isn't my first rodeo. We've been through a few hurricanes, and by now we kind of understand what to do and what not to do. And one thing I've never done is leave and get stuck on Interstate 4 for 6 hours and run out of gas on the interstate. That's something we've never done during a hurricane. And remember the 3 most important things during a hurricane. FPL. Fear, panic, and looting. Yeah, maybe you should have got a truck. On top of that, I'm getting reports from people right now that tried to evacuate, and they're telling me they're stuck either in the Orlando area or trying to leave Naples or other areas of the state. So right now, a lot of people that are trying to evacuate are ending up in a traffic bottleneck, and they're not moving. Eventually, they're going to run out of gas and be stuck in the middle of nowhere. So again, that's another reason why I just don't deal with the evacuations. I live in a place that has everything I need. We're going to stay here. We're high, we're dry, we're safe. There's a reason why we moved to Lakewood Ranch.